All right, I've been through the medical process and I know exactly what you guys are going through. So I'm gonna give you 4 tips of things not to do / things to do if you wanna apply for graduate entry medicine. Check them out. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Hafsa Slayman. I'm a 3rd year medical student, and today I thought I'd share with you things that you shouldn't do on your medical application. And this might seem like common sense for some of you, but I just felt like maybe if I've known this before applying, I would have had a better chance on my first shot. So number 1, I know we live with the motto of no regrets, and I really enjoyed studying biomedical science, but because I knew right from the start that I wanted to get into medical school, I feel like the reason why I picked biomedical science was so that I can get into medical school. And it was great. I did subjects like immunology and biochemistry and microbiology, which has helped me heaps in medical school. But the reality of the situation is that when you're applying for graduate entry medicine, it doesn't matter what you do as your first degree. You could literally be a dancer, you could be an athlete, you could have done whatever and still get into medical school. So what I recommend is pick something that you really enjoy. And I really enjoyed biomedical science, but also pick something that gives you a job afterwards. So I feel like the majority of people doing biomedical science either end up in medical school while other people end up in labs. And I did a year of research and I found it quite challenging. I mean, the first couple of weeks, you grab a pipette and you're just like, okay, this is like really cool. I can finally pipette like a normal person. And you do some things in the lab and you just feel like an absolute legend. But as the months go by, and during the times where I was alone in the lab, where I had to deal with the autoclave machine, I just felt like this was a little bit too much for me. And I'm one of those people that really enjoys people. I'm really extroverted. I really enjoy talking to people, that I didn't really like the isolation of the lab. So keep that in mind. So when you're applying for medicine, have a backup in mind. So if you don't make it the first time, or if you change your mind halfway through, then you've got a career at the end of whatever degree that you've done. And you could also pick healthcare associated paths. So you could pick something like studying pharmacy, or studying to become an optometrist or a nurse. You've got so many options in the healthcare field, which, if you're still interested in medical school, can lead you to medicine. Mistake number 2 was limiting the applications and applying for the top schools, even though I didn't have the GMAT scores to back that up. So everyone's got a different case. For me, my strength was my GPA. I had 100%, so that was covered for me. I volunteered heaps in undergrad. I volunteered for St. John's Ambo, so I had that going on for me. I had jobs going on, I was active, and I played sports, so I had a really good personal statement. So my logic when I was applying was, okay, I'm just gonna put really hard things on top because that's gonna skip it and I'm gonna go to the next thing in line anyway. Now here's the thing. On the GMSAS application, which is the application to apply to medical school in Australia, there's a limited number of spots out there. So what's the point of wasting that top spot for Queensland University, which requires a really high GMSAT score, when I don't have a really high GMSAT score? I should have spent it well. For those of you who haven't applied for Flinders, which is a separate application outside of GMSAS, then apply for that. And by the way, this advice is applicable for anyone, whether you're applying to the UK or the US. Think about your application, think about your strengths and weaknesses. There's no shame, but just arrange your options and apply to a wide variety of universities. So apply to universities that are out of your reach and that you would really love to get into, and also apply to universities that are within your target, and also some universities below your target, so that you're not missing anything. All right, study for the GMSAT. The GMSAT is basically the graduate entry medical exam that is used to apply for medicine, and one of the prerequisites for medicine in Australia. It can also be used to study medicine in the UK. Study for it. I don't remember who told me, I don't remember if I saw this on a website, but someone said, oh, you know, like this is common sense. It's kind of like an aptitude test. You go in there and it sees how you perform. But no, there are courses out there. There are courses where there are many sample exam questions. Go for it. Rather than being blindsided, it's better if you're preparing, and especially preparing for those conditions. It's quite hard sitting around for hours and hours and hours trying to stay concentrating, trying to answer these exams. And to be completely honest with you, just having the sample test isn't enough. So practice. A couple of universities, like Wollongong University, relies heavily on the personal statement. So spend time on it. And not just spend time on it, speak to people. That's something that I didn't really do that much. There's so many students that are available on Instagram, and they're really quite friendly and very approachable on Instagram. And there are students that you could just, if you're studying at that university or you're going to an open day and you're looking at the medical faculty, speak to them. If they're an ambassador for the university, speak to them, ask them. What kinds of things have they done in undergrad? And speak to a wide variety of people. There are so many different types of medical students. They have come from different backgrounds, they've done different things. So find out what each of them has done. Why are they different? What do they have in common? And yeah, it takes time. It takes a heap of effort. But that is something that you can do to improve your application. And that's it for today. Let me know, have these tips helped you to apply to medical school? Give me a thumbs up if that helped, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.